received their property tax bills yet, but we are told that those are going out around Chicago throughout this week.
All right, so I'm sure this is going to be happening in a lot of different cities, but every year, your city is required to come up with a budget for the city. And there's some shortfalls, it seems like, here in Chicago. And so property taxes are being increased again. And from what I hear, some of them are being doubled, which is crazy, which is insane. It's like a scam. You know what I mean? Like they want you to, they say, come, to America. Well, if you're already here in America, guess what? You work, save up your money, you get a good job, you hold on one second. You get a good job, you have a family, then you buy a house with a white picket fence and all that stuff. And then like if you look now, like people, then you hear people about people losing their homes. So once you get the home, there's a couple things. Mortgage, what I'm saying? Like, okay, if you don't pay your mortgage, and actually me and my buddy talked about this. Hey, he was like, you pay your mortgage for say you have a 30-year mortgage, you pay a mortgage for 29 years. And if you late a couple times, they can come take your ish. Then, you can't pay your property taxes. Guess what? They could come take your ish. And a lot of people, I don't want to say a lot of people because I don't know the numbers per se, but there's people out there who are elderly, who retired, who had own their home outright, and if they don't pay their property tax, guess what? They lose their house. And guess who it goes back to? It goes back to the bank. And so it seems like a legal racket, which there's a lot of other ones out there. It's like a legal racket because they could come take your house. And then, the people are saying, like, guess what? You're not doing anything to improve the city. You're not, fixing anything. You're not, putting money into the schools. Like, what are you doing? Like, why is this tax hike being done? And in a lot of these cities, that same thing has happened. They're just taxing the hell out of people, and people are not able to survive. And this is one thing, like the people, I don't know if it's any of you out there, but think about this. They say tax the rich, right? If I have millions of dollars and I'm in a place where I'm getting taxed 30, 40, 50%, I have the resources to bounce. I'm going to leave and go to a place where I'm not getting taxed to hell. And guess what that means? Who's going to pay the taxes? The people who are not millionaires. So y'all just think about that. If y'all have this philosophy, tax the rich, like you're going to end up being stuck with the bill. And then think about this also. If you're if you're an owner, a homeowner, and you rent out your home, guess who's going to end up paying the property taxes? The tenants. So you can say, guess what? I don't have a home. I don't have to worry about it. Guess what? Yes, you do. Because guess what? That rent is going to go up because the property taxes are going up. I don't know, man. I think it's, like I said, I think it's a racket, but I don't know everything. Cuzzo, what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the stuff that they were saying in there, I agree with in terms of what the people were saying. You're not doing anything to better the community, to update, to refresh, to repair. So, why is our property taxes being raised? Where is that tax money going? Who is it going to? Because it's not going to take care of anything, where I live. It's not going to, go to bettering, my children's school. So I definitely think it is a legal racket, because especially if I pay off my home, then why am I paying property taxes? And then people need to figure out and find out what are taxes and if I need to pay them or not. Is it legal to pay taxes? Or am I supposed to be paying taxes, or am I volunteering to pay taxes? Because somebody says I has to pay something, then who are you? You know, the IRS is not even a government entity. You know, so we need to see and understand. Okay, where is this money going to? Is it going to the government? Is it going to private, shareholders? Who is it going to? So, yeah, that's one of those things to where you see it, and it's like, yeah, if it's happening here, it's going to start happening in other places, in other spaces, and people move around the country and they move to different states to get away from stuff like this, but eventually it goes and moves everywhere, and it's going to move to where people can't get away from it. So what are we going to do? You know, that's my spiel.
Got you. Yeah, you're 100% right that it's going to start happening other places. This is particular place is Chicago, but I don't know. I can see it happening in LA. I haven't looked into it. I don't own my home out here, so I don't know about my property taxes if they going up or not. But yeah, I could see it happening. And guess what? Like, not only are the property taxes going up, or they could go up, but there's other things that are going on in the city, like in Chicago, for instance. And this is something that I know because somebody else was covering Chicago and some things that were going on there. But they sold their city parking to Saudi Arabia. So like if you park in downtown Chicago, now that money is not going to the city, that money is going to another country. Like, think about that. And this is not like a temporary thing. This is like a 10-year thing. So they own it for like up to 10 years or something crazy like that. I can look it up really quick right now and see, but let me see. Let's see, Chicago. Yeah, Chicago sold parking meters. Let's see. So peep that right there. So I don't know if y'all can see it. I don't know if my face is in the way or not, but in 2008, Chicago privatized its 36,000 parking meters by selling. Oh, I'm sorry, I said 10 years, 75-year lease to a group of private investors for $1.6 billion. So I was way off. It doesn't say where they're from. Oh yeah, here we go, right here. Led by Morgan Stanley and included the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority. $1.6 billion for 75 years, bro. That's insane. That is hella, that's insane. And so this is what's going on. We don't know where a lot of this money is going to, kind of like you kind of alluded to, Cuzzo. And they're gonna keep taxing the hell out of people. We need some people, some politicians, some leaders that are going to really be for the people, because if you're for the people, then you're not just here to just tax the hell out of your people. Because how can we live if we're getting taxed like crazy?